Hello FPL managers and welcome back to another FPL video looking at the top 5 goalkeepers that I want to suggest that you start the season with. Of course, things might change in pre-season, there might be some transfers, but these are definitely the 5 goalkeepers I will be keeping an eye on during pre-season before the big day kicks off. I've actually got 2 honourable mentions as well, but before we get into that, goalkeepers have been a very hot topic so far this season. It does feel like, and I would suggest as well, that you should go either high, so 6 million, maybe 5.5, or go low and go 4.5 star. And that is just because it doesn't feel like there are that many goalkeepers worth their price. A lot of goalkeepers that were great last year, your Fabianskis, your Fosters that were 4.5, they're all being bumped up to 5, and there has been a bit of a debate about that, but I would also suggest either go low or go high, not necessarily the middle ground. So before we get into the top 5, 2 honourable mentions. The first one is David De Gea, 5.5 million in Manchester United. The reason why I'm going for this guy is because he is, on his day, usually a world-class goalkeeper. He had a terrible season last season, but for 5.5 million, if he can get back to his form from before last season, he is a genuinely top goalkeeper. Last season, he conceded 54 goals. The season before that, 28. Last season, he kept 7 clean sheets. The season before that, 18. So if he can get back to that ability that he showed us pretty much every season except the last season, then he would be a good choice at 5.5 million. And United have already added Wan-Bissaka to their defence. I would not rule out United improving their squad before the season kicks off. So David De Gea might be a good shout. Definitely keep an eye on not only on him, but Manchester United during this pre-season. And just before we get into the top 5, I'm also going to say Leno at Arsenal, 5 million goalkeeper. So I did sort of say go high or go low, but the reason why I'm pointing this out is Arsenal are a top 6 side and he is the undisputed number 1 choice. Granted, Arsenal are not looking good at the back, but again, keep an eye on them at pre-season, see if they improve their defence. But also to note with Leno, he didn't play as much as the other goalkeepers last season. He was 13th in when you put the minutes in order, so he didn't play anywhere near as much as a lot of the other goalkeepers. So he could improve. He is definitely the number 1 at 5 million. So if you're looking for a top 6 goalkeeper and he doesn't really have a rival, then Leno might be a good choice for you. So in at number 5 now, we are going to suggest Lucas Fabianski here. West Ham, 5 million. He was the 5th best goalkeeper last year. So why I'm going to suggest him? Well, I said earlier, if you're not going to go high or low and you are going to go for one of the middle ground keepers, he is probably the best middle ground goalkeeper that you can have. Not just in terms of last season, he was the 5th best in total, but also because West Ham have a decent opening first 10 fixtures. They've only got 3 red fixtures in the opening 10 and 2 of those are at home. So for 5 million here, you've got a consistent goalkeeper, a top 5 goalkeeper in fantasy football terms, easily West Ham's number 1. So that's why I'd suggest him. If you are not going to go high or low, you want that 5 million goalkeeper, I think he is the best option. In at number 4, it is Tom Heaton at Burnley, 4.5 million man here. He looks to be Burnley's number 1. Last season they did start with Joe Hart, but it looks like he's been told he's surplus to requirements. So for 4.5 million, you should be getting a starting goalkeeper for a team that's usually very solid at the back. Last season, Burnley had a season really to forget. The season before that, though, if you remember, they were excellent. They got into Europe. The reason why they started last season so poorly is I believe they had a very small squad, a few injuries, and they were just sort of stretched a little bit thinner. A worry that some people have had for Wolves for the next coming season. But for me, you're looking at a goalkeeper that has a pretty sturdy defence. They shouldn't be getting thumped week in, week out. And in the first 10 game weeks, again, only 3 of them are red fixtures, but weeks 5 to 8 are all green fixtures for Burnley. So if you're looking for a goalkeeper for the first 10 weeks before you use that first wild card, he might be a good 4.5 million shout. So coming in at number 3, it is the 3rd best goalkeeper, not just in fantasy football last year, but in my opinion, probably the Premier League, and that is Pickford at Everton for 5.5 million. So I said go low or go high. He is obviously in the high end, but if you don't want to go for that Edison Alisson 6 million price tag, you can save yourself 0.5 million here, and you're looking at a goalkeeper that finished just behind Edison last season. So point number 1 for Pickford is that he just finished behind Edison, who is 0.5 million more expensive than him. A lot of people as well are looking at more penalties coming this season because of VAR, and that's why people are looking at Palace and Milivojevic for penalties. But don't forget that penalties can be missed, or to be more precise, saved by goalkeepers. Pickford made 3 penalty saves last season, so if there are going to be more penalties, there could be more penalty saves, and Pickford might be a good choice for you if you want to save that 0.5 million from Alisson and Ederson. So speaking of Ederson, he comes in at number 2, the Manchester City stopper, 6 million. Now, a lot of people will be thinking, why Ederson, not Alisson? So first off, why Ederson? 6 million, just like Alisson. He was the second best goalkeeper, and he's a Manchester City goalkeeper. So if you're looking to get points from your person at the back, it is going to be a Liverpool or Manchester City goalkeeper. So why Ederson over Alisson? For me personally, it is purely because you definitely need 3 Liverpool outfield players. People are now going to be arguing and say, hey, you need 3 Manchester City outfield players. However, with Pep's rotation, and I just always feel anxious about that. Now with Liverpool, you're looking at Van Dijk, Alexander-Arnold, Robertson, Mane, Salah, Firmino. These players are key to Liverpool, and they really seldom ever get rotated out. For Manchester City, you have Ederson, you have Laporte, and you have Sterling. But even Sterling is not immune to getting rotated out. Aguero might miss a game, or he just gets subbed after 60 minutes. So for me, you definitely need 3 Liverpool outfield players, but you still want to have 3 Manchester City players. So I'll have one of them as the goalkeeper, who basically never gets dropped. So coming in at number 1, it is Ryan at Brighton for 4.5 million. Why? Because for me, goalkeepers are going to be more set and forget for me this year. Why Ryan? Because for 4.5 million, he'll be your starting goalkeeper. And at Brighton, you put Button on your bench for 4 million. So for 8.5 million, you will definitely, no matter what, have a goalkeeper that starts in the Premier League. So you can just set and forget that. I think a lot of people as well are really fighting to get money in defence and midfield, and saving that 1.5 million, if you're going to, or 1 million for Ederson or Pickford, or even that 0.5 million for Fabianski, can really put the rest of your team to good use. So why I'm going to say Ryan, you combine him with Button, you have the Brighton goalkeepers completely in your pocket without any worry about rotation, and even if they do rotate, it's going to be for your substitute. So that's why I'm going to go for Ryan, not particularly because his stats are outstanding. Brighton had a terrible run at the end of last season, so if the new manager can come in and sort of steady that ship at the back, because defensively with Duncan Duffy, it's not terrible, so having those 2 as your 2 goalkeepers isn't the worst. I'm not expecting lots of points coming from these guys. It's purely because they are the cheapest combo, Ryan and Button, in the FPL system that lets you use that money better in your defense and your midfield. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Please let me know in the comments below, who are the goalkeepers you are looking for now and during pre-season? Who is going to be starting the season in between the sticks for you? I'll be doing these videos as well, looking at the defenders, midfielders and forwards, so please keep your eyes out for that. If you like it, maybe leave a like and subscribe. If you don't, then put a thumbs down and let me know in the comments below why I'm wrong, or why you think this video wasn't particularly good. So thanks for watching, guys, and as always, have a good one.